In combination with your green circle, blue square, black diamond content system, every piece of content you create is going to target your customers at different stages of the customer journey. This is so you can move people from knowing nothing about your brand to becoming your most loyal customer. Now, if you're familiar with Eugene Schwartz's 5 levels of awareness from the book Breakthrough Advertising, then this is very similar. What we're going to do is create content pieces that can move people through different stages of the customer journey. And the types of content we use at each stage are going to be different to match the type of content our customer needs to move through their journey. Basically, what we're doing is using these 5 stages like a marketing funnel to push people along their customer journey. A lot of your content will be targeted at people at the awareness level. These are people who have a problem but don't know how to solve it or even realize it's a problem. This type of content will generally involve teaching with little or no mention of your product or service. It will use stories and other top of funnel content with content upgrades to convert visitors into leads. At the interest stage, people already like what they see and they're interested in learning more. So this is where you're going to use content upgrades and lead magnets to build your distribution lists, like your email list, push notification list, and your Facebook Messenger list. For the consideration stage, you're going to produce content for people who have a problem and are looking for a way to solve it. This type of content will generally involve teaching using case studies, social proof, and other middle of funnel content to move people from knowing who you are to knowing how your product can solve their problem. For the purchase stage, you're going to produce content for people who are hyper aware about you, your competitors, and ready to invest in the best solution. This type of content will generally be content to sell your product like pre-sale pages, sales pages, and other bottom of funnel content that convince people to buy from you. For the growth stage, you're going to produce content that helps your customers become more successful while increasing your average order value and lifetime customer value. This is content that a lot of people skip over, but it's really important to make sure you don't destroy all the hard work you did to take people from the awareness to purchase stage. The key takeaway here is that the different levels of awareness help you know what type of content you should write and what you should say in that content. It's a framework to help you move people from having little to no awareness about you to wanting to be your customer. Also, it's important to note that it doesn't take weeks or months to move people through all 5 stages. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you how you can take someone from awareness to purchase in under an hour by knowing what type of content to create for each stage of the customer journey. This is a list of different content types I've seen work best at different stages of the customer journey. I personally don't have experience producing all these content types, but what I've done is put together a swipe file of 3 successful pieces of content for every content type, so you can see which types you think will be a good fit for your business. When I first started writing content, and still to this day, I modeled successful content types I knew were working. I found out what was working by asking people in the industry what types of content were generating them the most customers and making them the most money. Then I created similar pieces of content, but with my own unique angle. I also used competitive intelligence tools and studied different types of content that were getting a lot of shares and comments. The swipe file I'm going to go through now is based on over a year of market research studying what content works. It's the one resource I wish I had when I first started writing content. All the examples I'm going to share should be used as inspiration to come up with your own unique content formats. Now I'm going to switch over to the swipe file and go through every example with you. You'll be able to access this swipe file in the resources section of this module. Okay, so I'm going to go through content you can use at all 5 stages of the customer journey. As I go through each content piece, take notice of the type of business who uses it, what types of content resonate with you, and think about how you could apply that content type in your business. First, we're going to go through content that works at the awareness stage. The first one we've got here is personal stories. Personal stories are pieces of content that show context behind how you got a specific result. The first one here is an article I wrote that was first published on HubSpot's inbound.org, before HubSpot moved the platform to growth.org. The title of the article is Lessons Learned Growing the Sumo.com blog from 100,000 to 200,000 visits in a month. This particular post was one of the most popular pieces of content on inbound.org with over 100 upvotes and close to 100 comments. It's a great example of a personal story because it shows the 7 specific lessons I learned growing the Sumo.com blog in the first month when I arrived at Sumo. This whole article gives actionable and tactical advice people can use in their own content marketing. The second example here is a blog post Justin Brook from AdSkills wrote about what he found after spending $30,000 on different blog designs. Justin told me this is one of his most popular and most shared blog posts of all time. And it's another perfect example of a personal story because the blog post gives context behind how Justin found the perfect blog layout based on spending $30,000 to test different designs. People who read this can then skip spending all the money Justin spent and learn from Justin's experience in the blog post. The third personal story example I included here is an article about what a venture capitalist learned about reading every Amazon shareholders letter dating back to 1997. The reason I've included this example is because it proves you don't need to spend a lot of money or work for some big company or startup to be able to write a great personal story. If you're resourceful like this guy was, you can find something that interests you, study it, and then write a personal story based on your own experience that can help other people save time. The next content type is brand stories. Brand stories are written by interviewing a personal brand who is your customer or who you want to connect with, then writing it up to generate brand awareness and social traffic for both of you. The first brand story here is a story about Elon Musk that was written as a brand story series. This is a perfect example as the author interviewed Elon Musk, then wrote up the interview into a 4-part series that covers Elon's personal story, the full story with Tesla, the full story with SpaceX, and a post on how Elon thinks. Then he added more articles to the series when Elon started a new company. Plus he also wrote mini posts covering topics relevant to Elon like the Hyperloop, solar energy, and rockets. The second brand story example is where the author interviewed DHH, the co-founder at Basecamp and the creator of Ruby on Rails. This is a perfect example of a brand story that requires less effort to create. The reason I say that is because the interview is transcribed with an intro added and formatting added to make the story easy to read. It's also a great example of how you can document the why behind someone's story and still make it interesting, without necessarily talking about the step-by-step tactics of how they got there. The third brand story example is one that we wrote at Sumo. For this piece, one of our writers interviewed the head of marketing at Huckberry. Before the interview, I gave our writer the format I wanted the article written in. The format was 3 top tactics Huckberry uses to increase traffic, 3 top tactics they use to convert visitors into leads, and 3 top tactics they use to convert leads into customers. This is a very tactical brand story example because I wanted to give other e-commerce businesses step-by-step tactics and examples they could use to grow their business. The next content type is growth studies. Growth studies are highly tactical and actionable marketing articles designed to get massive amounts of social traffic from Facebook and Twitter. They involve using free and paid competitive intelligence tools, researching past interviews with founders and managers, and reading articles on strategies people in the company use to grow the business. Then you need to analyze all of the data and summarize it down into tactical marketing steps and takeaways people can apply in their own business. The first growth study example here is on Tony Robbins. This was the first ever article I wrote for Sumo, and my goal was to make it the most highly trafficked and shared article in the history of Sumo. To do it in 48 hours, I looked up the most highly trafficked posts on Noah Kagan's personal blog, OKDork, and identified the top traffic posts that were about a brand or celebrity. Then I wrote the growth study on Tony Robbins and promoted it using the promotion tactics I'm going to go over with you in Module 3. Tony Robbins is also a Sumo customer, so this growth study is also a great example to see how you can reverse engineer a company and tie it back to your own product. The second growth study example is one of the first ever growth studies I wrote for Noah Kagan, reverse engineering the software company Intercom. The company Intercom was chosen based on a poll I ran inside a Facebook group with software entrepreneurs, asking them which company they'd most like to see reverse engineered. The article has over 100 comments and was shared more times than all of Noah's viral giveaways. From all the promotion I did around it, a lot of software CEOs and influencers shared it. It's the perfect example of how to write a great growth study, optimized for generating a high volume of traffic. In Module 5, I'm going to go over exactly how I promoted it to make it one of Noah's most successful posts. The third growth study is on Shopify. Again, this is similar to the Intercom and Tony Robbins growth study, but on Shopify. This particular growth study got shared thousands of times, people were talking about it at Shopify workshops around the world, and the Shopify talent team even emailed me to offer me a job at Shopify. In Module 5, I'm going to show you a video I recorded on the morning the post went live with everything I did to promote it. The next content type is data articles. Data articles are used to find, analyze, and interpret a set of data using your expertise. They are great for creating linkable assets that lead to a high volume of referral traffic to your website and higher rankings for your site overall. The first example is a data article Justin Brooke from AdSkills wrote on 10 online ads that made millions for their founders. The great thing about this example is the blog post uses data based on a paid competitive intelligence tool called AdBeat. So you don't even need to have your own data to write a data post like this, even though most people think you do. Also, every inch of this post is designed to convert. In the post, there's a great analysis of 10 ads that made millions, then a call to action to opt in for a PDF with all 50 ads. It's the perfect example of how to make a high converting content upgrade. The reason I say that is because the content upgrade is an exact upgrade of the content people were interested in reading in the first place. After reading the analysis of 10 ads, you're very likely to want all 50 if you enjoyed the content. The second example is a data article written by BuzzSumo based on what they learned analysing 100 million headlines. Using data from their own software tool, the article analyses 7 different aspects of headline data and got shared over 10,000 times. Also, what's great about this post is that lots of graphs are used to break up the text. On the graphs, BuzzSumo add their company logo and blog post URL at the bottom. So if anyone tries to use the graphs on their own site, people will be able to see the source of the data. This helps with driving even more referral traffic. The third example is an Internet Trends report. It's one of the most popular trends reports on the internet, written by Mary Meeker at KPCB. Since 2014, Mary Meeker has written one Internet Trends report every year. It's over 350 pages of data on 10 high-level internet trends. Because the report is so detailed and valuable, with over 100 graphs and thousands of data points, whenever an annual issue of the report is released, hundreds of new publications like Forbes, TechCrunch, QZ, VentureBeat, Business Insider, and tons of other news sites write articles promoting it. It's a great example of how you can produce just one piece of content every year to drive massive results for your company. The next content type is SEO articles. SEO articles are comprehensive articles on a single topic used to get long-term organic traffic from Google and other search engines. The first example here is from a popular fitness blog called Nerd Fitness. The guide they wrote on the Beginner's Guide to the Paleo Diet ranks number 1 for the keyword paleo diet, which has around 550,000 monthly searches on Google. This article also has over 1,000 comments. It's a great example of how to write a great SEO article, as it's been broken down into a format that covers everything someone needs to know about the paleo diet. It has 16 sections from how the paleo diet works, what it is, and what foods you can and can't eat, all the way up to how often you need to eat, the criticisms of the diet, and how to ease into it. Another reason it's a great article to study is because the topic is directly related to the business. It hasn't just been written for the sake of trying to get more traffic. The Nerd Fitness Academy course helps people slowly transition to the paleo diet, and all throughout the article there are strategic calls to action to learn more about the course with a link to the sales page. The second example is from an e-commerce company called Beard Brand that sells products to grow and care for your beard. The guide they wrote on how to grow a beard ranks number 1 for the keyword how to grow a beard, which has around 165,000 monthly searches on Google. This particular article is broken down into 5 major sections with different beard growing topics covered under each section. Everything from beard terminology and the physical aspects of beard growing to how to live with a beard are covered. And like the Nerd Fitness SEO article, the topic of the article is directly related to the business, so Beard Brand are able to tie the content back to their products. The third example is a listicle on the Sumo blog. It ranks number 1 for the keyword power words, which has around 27,000 monthly searches on Google. The reason I want to show you this one isn't because it's a massive list of over 400 power words. There are other articles with more, some with over 700 power words that rank lower than this one. The reason why this article does better on SEO than those ones is because after listing out all the power words, there's a list of 10 places where you can use them on your website. And every place has 1 to 3 examples of how to use the power words. It's the useful list of power words plus the actionable breakdown of exactly where you can use them that makes this post rank so well. Also, the content upgrade is perfectly aligned to the content of the post. The post lists over 400 power words, and the content upgrade includes even more power words, but in a one-page, professionally designed PDF that anyone can hang up on their wall. So the content upgrade has actual utility. Because people are getting more of what they already came to the article for, this content upgrade has generated thousands of email opt-ins. The next content type is comparison articles. Comparison articles are articles comparing two or more different products, companies, or strategies to help people make a purchasing decision. The first example is an article comparing Shopify versus WooCommerce. I've included this one because of how well structured it is. It compares 6 different areas of both software tools, including design, prices, features, ease of use, customer support, and SEO options. Then it wraps up with an unbiased conclusion. In the conclusion, the author recommends under which situations it would be best for you to use WooCommerce and under which situations it would be best for you to use Shopify. Also, even though it was first published in 2014, it sits at the top of Google for the search term Shopify versus WooCommerce because every year the company refreshes the article to make it relevant and includes the month and year it was updated in the headline. It's a great example of how to stop your content from becoming outdated and maintaining a top-of-page ranking. The second example is an article from a software company called Drift that was created specifically to generate organic traffic for the search term intercom alternative. The article compares Drift to Intercom. The reason Drift created a comparison article only comparing themselves against Intercom and not other companies is because Intercom is the market leader in the vertical. More people are searching for an Intercom alternative than any other Drift competitor. So by focusing on winning for the search term Intercom alternative, Drift can go after the maximum amount of traffic with one comparison article. The other great thing about this article is how it's written. It's very straightforward. It leads with the question, are you looking for an Intercom alternative? Which matches the searcher's intent. And then it goes into 4 questions people should ask themselves before switching. Each question asks if the Intercom product can do one specific thing, with the answer to all the questions purposely being no. But then Drift goes into how their product can do it, the benefit to your business, and a screenshot of what it looks like so that you're convinced to choose them over Intercom. The third example is a really unique and smart way to do your own competitor comparison article. It's a razor study done by Dollar Shave Club comparing Dollar Shave Club's core product called the Executive to Harry's core product called the Truman. Dollar Shave Club hired a research and consulting company to perform a national blinded study with 318 men between the ages of 21 and 70 who shave at least once a week. They then created this landing page that compares Dollar Shave Club to Harry's in 6 different categories. The page includes a comparison table and bar graphs that dig into the data. Then at the bottom of the page there's a section with comments people have made about how their Dollar Shave Club razors are better than Harry's. This is then followed by a section with an offer to try Dollar Shave Club's razor for $1 a month. The genius behind this comparison article is that it isn't designed for organic traffic, it's designed for paid traffic. Dollar Shave Club are using this comparison article as a landing page to advertise on Google, so people see it whenever someone searches for Harry's versus Dollar Shave Club. The next content type is a video series. A video series is a series of videos that follow a specific theme and format. The first example here is from a health and fitness products company called EHP Labs. In the health and fitness market, influencer marketing is really important, so the company sponsors athletes who promote their products all year round. In this instance, EHP Labs got a group of their sponsored athletes and recorded their fitness journey in a video series called Be Empowered. And even with a really small YouTube subscriber base that was less than 10,000 people, the company was able to get over 100,000 views on their video series. You could do what EHP Labs did by paying influencers for a day of their time to be part of your video series. What most people do these days though is pay influencers for shoutouts, which usually only lasts a day and you don't own the content or the audience. The second example is from Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary is one of the kings of the video series. He did a series called Wine Library TV, which he used to grow his family's wine business. In this series, Gary interviewed wine experts, talked about what wines pair with different foods, and recorded tasting sessions. This video series was the primary content strategy and main revenue driver for his wine business. Now he does a video series called the Ask Gary V Show, where people tweet questions that they want him to answer. Gary Vee then goes on camera and answers the questions. This simple video series format that doesn't require Gary to come up with any ideas for what he needs to talk about has helped him grow a YouTube channel to over 1 million subscribers and millions of YouTube views. The third example is from Noah Kagan at Sumo. Noah enjoys travelling to different places to meet cool entrepreneurs who run cool businesses. And seeing as he does it anyway for fun, he decided to create a video series out of it called Real Business Stories. These are some of Noah's most popular videos because he goes behind the scenes by travelling to visit the businesses and interviews the person who owns the business to learn how they've grown it. This is another type of video series you can replicate by travelling to interview different types of people relevant to your business. The next content type is viral videos. Viral videos are used for boosting worldwide brand awareness and sales. What makes these viral video examples I've listed so successful at driving business results is that they are a mix of brand advertising and direct response marketing. The first example is a video for a product called Orabrush. This one video got Orabrush into Walmart and is used by Google as a poster child for YouTube advertising. The video has over 26 million views and is based on one simple question: how to tell if you have bad breath. Apart from being funny, it gives a simple method for doing a bad breath test by scraping a spoon on your tongue. Then the actor talks about what bad breath is caused by, the different products everyone is familiar with like a toothbrush, tongue scraper and mouthwash that won't actually work to cure bad breath. At the end of the video, Orabrush is presented as a product that will cure bad breath once and for all. The genius behind this video is that at the end of the video there's a direct response offer to get your first Orabrush free by only paying for shipping and handling. Because the Orabrush is a multi-use product that needs replacing every 3 months, Orabrush were able to generate thousands of new recurring customers from the one video. The second example is the most shared political ad in the history of social media. It outperformed any political ad campaign ever, including Trump, Hillary, Bernie, and Obama. It generated over 37 million views, over 700,000 shares, and signed up over 100,000 users for the Gary Johnson campaign. Because of all the shares the video got on Facebook, the video campaign ended with 60% organic views and 40% paid views. This is a great example of how, if your video content is entertaining, spending a bit of money on ads can create a viral organic effect where you don't need to pay for the impressions. The third example is from an app called Chatbooks that generated over 70 million views, over 400,000 shares, and doubled the business's sales. This video is a great example of capturing the essence of a real-life situation. Chatbooks did it by capturing the essence of a real mum in a family situation that resonated with millions of women across the country. By making the video funny and relatable, thousands of mums shared it and the campaign paid for itself within 48 hours. The next content type is virtual summits. Virtual summits are used to bring together a group of experts in an industry to talk about different strategies you can apply in that industry. The first example is from Drip, who created a free e-commerce marketing conference called Automated. The reason I like this example is because it's a great example of targeting a specific type of target customer, in this case e-commerce business owners and marketers. By creating your own virtual conference targeted at one audience, you can make your company known as a provider for those people. And by rounding up e-commerce experts, Drip is able to provide cutting-edge content on the newest e-commerce marketing strategies, while at the same time leveraging the audience of those experts to get more traffic and brand awareness to their own brand. The second example is a virtual summit that an app development agency called Always Beta put together. I like this example because the agency wanted to help more SaaS companies with their app development. So to make people aware of their brand, they rounded up SaaS founders and industry leaders to create this summit and attract their target audience. The third example was put together by Tyrone Edge, who is a physical education teacher and speed coach. What I love about this example is Tyrone rounded up elite speed coaches who have mostly never publicly spoken before. This is a great example of how to organize an event around your personal profession and passion and become a thought leader in the space. The next content type is documentaries. Documentaries are used to tell a story about an industry, trend, or brand to boost brand awareness. The first example is from an SEO agency called Ignite Visibility. They travelled all over the United States, interviewing legends and pioneers of the SEO industry, then packaged it all together in a 40-minute documentary. It was viewed over 230,000 times, with all the SEO experts and influencers mentioned in the movie helping to promote it to their audiences. I love this example because one small, unknown SEO agency was able to get the biggest SEO influencers in the industry to send traffic to content on their website. They did it simply by being strategic with this one documentary. Plus, industry publications like Search Engine Land, Search Engine Watch, SEO Roundtable, and other industry-related news sites all wrote blog posts about it, which all linked back to the Ignite Invisibility site. The second example is from a youth pop culture magazine called Complex. Complex created a documentary called Sold Out, with behind-the-scenes interviews on the underground economy of Supreme resellers. The full-length documentary got over 1.5 million views, but what's unique about this documentary is that Complex released it in 4 smaller parts first. Starting on a Monday, they released one part of the documentary a day, and then all 4 parts were edited into one cohesive whole and released at the end of the week on Friday. This built hype and anticipation around the whole documentary so they could get more traffic and brand awareness. Part 1 got over 800,000 views, Part 2 got over 1.6 million views, Part 3 got over 500,000 views, and Part 4 got over 400,000 views. Altogether, Complex racked up close to 5 million views by doing this 5-part launch series over 1 week. This strategy got major fashion news sites like Fashionista, Highsnobiety, Hypebeast, and others to promote the documentary to their audience 5 times instead of just once. The third example is a documentary called Wornwear from a clothing brand called Patagonia. The documentary begins with the Patagonia founder explaining his love of mountaineering and how he turned that passion into an outdoor clothing business. It then goes on to tell 8 more stories about different Patagonia customers and how they've used the Patagonia clothing for years. It's a great example of how to showcase your own company values and dedication to your craft. The documentary was launched on Black Friday to convince people not to buy new clothes. Instead, it was designed to convince people to wear the clothes they already have and buy Patagonia's range of quality wornwear. To make the documentary more memorable, they got their retail stores all over the US to host wornwear parties on Black Friday, where people could watch the documentary and drink free Patagonia beer. The next content type is mini sites. Mini sites are sites based on one very specific niche or theme that are used as a creative way to promote a product. The first example is from a company that sells blenders called Blendtec. The company created a YouTube series called Will It Blend, where they record videos of their blender's 300 mph blade, blending up popular items like iPhones, iPads, and Apple Watches. The videos went viral, and instead of directing all the search traffic to YouTube, where they can't control conversions well, the company made a mini site. They then embedded the YouTube videos on the site with links to their blenders in the main navigation bar and links to recipes people can get for their blender. Around 10,000 people search for the keyword Will It Blend every month, and this mini site ranks number 1 when people search. The second example doesn't have any viral content, but it's been very strategically created around a comparison of 2 marketing automation tools called Ontraport and Infusionsoft. This is a great example of how to go deep and narrow on one niche topic and build a whole site around it. Because the site's designed to help people find the best marketing automation tool for their business, the person who created it can make a recurring revenue from people who buy Ontraport or Infusionsoft through the affiliate links on the site. The third example is a great example of thinking outside the box on your mini site. The person who made the site published a book called What the Fuck Should I Make for Dinner? And his mini site gives you suggestions of what you can eat with a link to the recipe on his website. If you don't like the dinner suggestions the mini site gives you, then you can click the option that says I don't fucking like that, and the site will show you another suggestion. It's a really simple site, but a great promotion tool for the author's book. And this same concept can be applied to any business if you can think of a creative way to build a simple mini site like this for your own business. The next content type is quizzes. Quizzes are used to test people's knowledge on a subject matter related to your product. People are then encouraged to share their quiz result on social media to increase your brand awareness, or enter their contact information to get the result of the quiz via email. The first example is one of BuzzFeed's most successful quizzes of all time that generated 2.8 million shares on Facebook. This is a great example of creating a quiz optimized for social sharing. The quiz is based on answering one simple question: what city should you actually live in? The question is highly relatable to the mass market, and to get the answer you need to pick a multiple choice answer to 9 different questions that are related to what you like. You then get told what city you should live in with a brief description of why that city was chosen for you, and buttons to share your quiz result on Facebook and Twitter. When you share, the city you live in gets posted to your timeline with a link to the quiz posing the same question to your Facebook friends. The combination of sharing your own result plus the probing question for your friends to find out what their result will be is the formula for making your own quiz go viral. The second example is from an Australian company called Beer Cartel that sells craft beers. What's great about this quiz is that Beer Cartel have made it more fun and interactive by using images for a lot of their multiple choice questions. And every question is short and to the point, so people can test their knowledge quickly and easily in less than a minute. This is a great example of a short quiz designed to capture qualified leads by delivering the quiz results via email. The third example is from a store called the Elephant Pants, which sells lots of different types of pants with elephants on them. To help people choose between the hundreds of pants in their store, they created this quiz. Similar to the BuzzFeed quiz, this quiz is 5 simple questions that ask you about what you like, including your favourite Friday night activity, your favourite elephant photo, your favourite hobby, your favourite place in the world, and your favourite outfit. While the BuzzFeed quiz is optimised for social sharing, this quiz is optimised for product sales. Based on the 5 data points, the store offers you a pair of elephant pants that match your style, and instead of entering your contact details to get access to the result, you get a direct link to buy the elephant pants most suited to you. The next content type is giveaways. Giveaways are used to grow your target audience and make new prospects aware of your brand. The first example is an SEMrush giveaway AdSkills ran, giving away a free year of SEMrush software to 5 people. This is a great giveaway example because the AdSkills target audience is digital marketers and agencies, and the SEMrush prize is a competitive intelligence tool that only digital marketers and agencies will want to win. This means that the giveaway is only going to attract qualified leads, which is exactly what you want from a successful giveaway. The second example is a growth hacker giveaway run by AppSumo. AppSumo's target market is growth hackers and entrepreneurs, so just like the AdSkills giveaway, the prizes in this giveaway are a perfect match to the target audience. On top of this though, what's great about this giveaway is the value of the prize is over $25,000 without AppSumo spending any money on the prizes. This is because they leveraged their audience size and got partners on board to donate prizes in return for exposure to AppSumo's audience. AppSumo ended up generating 30,822 entries without spending any marketing dollars on giveaway prizes. The third example is from Sumo. When Sumo pivoted to targeting e-commerce businesses, we ran this giveaway to grow our audience of small e-commerce business owners. The giveaway prize was Sumo for life and any e-commerce platform of your choice for life. The total value of the prize was $299,040. $60,000 of that is cash Sumo needs to pay for the e-commerce platform over 60 years. So for this giveaway, Sumo made a big $60,000 bet. The bet was that the brand awareness and lifetime value of customers generated from the giveaway would outweigh the $60,000 cost. It's still too early to determine the lifetime value of the customers generated from the giveaway, but in the end, the giveaway brought in 63,934 entries. This is a great example of running a giveaway with a $100,000 plus prize pool. The next content type is software tools. Software tools are used to make people aware of your brand by offering a free tool. The free tool you offer would otherwise cost your target audience lots of money to make or lots of money to pay someone else to use. The first example is from HubSpot. Their website creator tool is one of the most well-known in the marketing world. Now the tool is so well known, HubSpot gets around 50% of their traffic from people going direct to the Grader.com site where it's hosted. Before HubSpot made customized lead magnets for every blog post they wrote, a lot of the traffic to the tool came from the HubSpot.com website and blog. What's so great about the tool is that it provides you with free recommendations to improve your website, so it's a great brand awareness tool for HubSpot that spreads by word of mouth. But if you don't want to invest the time to manually action the recommendations yourself, then HubSpot's paid tool is offered below the free recommendations as a tool that can help you do it automatically. The second example is the Data Insider tool. This tool is a Chrome extension that lets you see what software people are using on their website, so you can build a highly targeted prospect list. It helps a company convert free users into paid users by giving people access to uncover 10 people's email addresses and phone numbers for free each month. Then once you reach the 10-person limit, you're offered Datany's paid tool for prospecting with unlimited access to people's data. The third example is a freemium tool called Canva that lets you make images for social media and marketing campaigns. What's great about this tool is that the tool is the business. Most of the features are free for people to use, so because it's a useful tool that people need to use every day, widespread word-of-mouth awareness can spread about it quickly. The result was Canva grew their user base by 10 million users in 3 years, with just the word-of-mouth marketing from offering the tool for free. Now we've just gone over all different types of content you can use in the awareness stage. Let's go over some content you can use in the interest stage to convert visitors into leads. The first content type I'm going to go over is content upgrades. Content upgrades are used to offer an upgraded piece of content directly related to what someone just read, watched, or listened to. The first example is a 50 ads PDF content upgrade by AdSkills. The reason I like this one so much is because it's a direct upgrade to the content. The blog post is about 10 ads that made millions, so if people like the 10 ads, they are likely to also want the full 50 ads inside the PDF. I've found that content upgrades that offer more of what the person just read convert the best. I've also found that content upgrades that have utility are the best converters, and by utility I mean people can use the content upgrade to improve their life or business versus it just being something that looks and sounds good. The second example is a 401 plus Power Words PDF. The reason I like this upgrade offer is because no one is able to read a blog post with 401 things in it and remember everything. Also, Power Words are words people want to regularly reference when writing sales copy. So making a one-page PDF people can print out and put up on their wall is a perfect upgrade with utility and high relevance to the content in the blog post. This content upgrade has been seen around 7,700 times, and around 4,350 people have entered their email address to get it. So it has a high 56% conversion rate and works really well for capturing people's interest to generate leads. The third example is a content upgrade from Sumo to get access to a full blog post in PDF version. What we did here was show people 3 of the 10 tips from a blog post about AppSumo's multi-million-dollar marketing playbook. Then to get access to the full 10 tips, you need to sign up for a forever free Sumo account where you can get a PDF version of the full post. This isn't something you'd want to do for every blog post on your blog. We did it in this scenario because we promoted the PDF on AppSumo the week before and got over 6,500 downloads, so we already knew people really wanted it. By using the Sumo free registration wall, we can follow up with people to start using Sumo, and our sales team can use data enrichment on people's website URL to see who's the most qualified to reach out to for a sales call. The other type of content you can use for the interest stage is surveys. Surveys are tools used to ask people questions about their individual situation. The goal is to customize the information and products you offer to the person based on their answers in the survey. The first example is from a fitness company that sells courses and other fitness products called Body. Body sells 7 different courses, 3 for fat loss, 2 for muscle building, and 2 for women. When you have so many courses to offer like this, sometimes people don't know what's going to be best for them and get decision fatigue. So Body created a physique builder survey that asks you your gender, age, condition, and goals, then recommends the best course to buy. At the end of the survey, you're shown a video about the course and a 30% off deal compared to the retail price on the website. This is a perfect example of making your offer relevant to your visitor by customizing the product you recommend based on the survey results. The second example is from Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins offers hundreds of different products, including audios, videos, supplements, books, and events. Way more products than KinoBody does. So in Tony's survey, instead of offering people a product recommendation, which would be extremely difficult to do with hundreds of products, he offers people the option to speak with a personal results specialist. This way, the personal results specialist can go over the results of the survey with the prospect. With their knowledge of Tony's products, they can then recommend the best product to get the person to where they want to go in life. The third example here is from Bills.com. Bills.com provides debt relief to people in debt, so they created a survey asking people if debt relief will help them or not, based on their situation. The survey is just 3 simple questions. Question 1 asks you how much debt you have. Question 2 asks you how many days behind you are on your payments. And question 3 asks you what state you live in. Then you get your results via email, and if you're qualified to get debt relief from Bills.com, you'll be provided with a phone number you can call for help. This is a great example of a survey that pre-qualifies your leads for you. Now we've gone over content types you can use in the interest stage. We're going to move on to content types you can use in the consideration stage to nurture your leads and move them closer to becoming your customer. The first content type I'm going to go over is email newsletters. Email newsletters are used to nurture a relationship with your subscribers through stories and content relevant to what they signed up for. The first example here is the Daily Edge email newsletter written by Justin Brooke at AdSkills. It teaches agencies and marketers one paid advertising tactic every day. I love this newsletter because every email is actionable. You can read it and then go execute it in your business right away. If the email isn't actionable, then it's usually a cool story from Justin about a lesson he's learned that you can avoid or use in your business. This is a great example of nurturing your leads every day with actionable content. The second example is the Palm Beach Daily newsletter that's written by the Palm Beach Research Group. This is a financial newsletter and Palm Beach Research Group's primary conversion tool to turn readers into buyers. Every newsletter is filled with actionable investment advice, plus calls to action within the newsletter to learn more about their paid products and paid products from their partners. It's a great example of a newsletter you can use to build your buyers list. Take notice how within the actionable investment advice, there are call to action widgets for paid products. This company did the highest revenue generating webinar in net history. Many of those buyers came from people who bought products on this newsletter, so it's a great example of a newsletter that converts readers to buyers. The third example is the Brain Pickings newsletter written by Maria Popova. I've included this newsletter because it's a great example of building a newsletter off the back of your personal passion without actually selling any products. In this newsletter, Maria reads classic books that are often hard to track down that she's personally interested in. She then writes about what she's learned so other people can learn the takeaways from them. She includes a full write-up of every book she's read and dissected that week, and at the very end of the newsletter, she links to a donation page where readers can voluntarily donate anywhere from $3 to $25 per month, or give a one-time donation. She also links to the books on Amazon with her Amazon affiliate link. The next content type is calculators. Calculators are used to help calculate something easier so someone considering a product can make a better purchasing decision. The first example is an ROI calculator made by Sumo. People can enter how many people visit their store and their average order value. The Sumo calculator will then use average e-commerce industry conversion rates to work out how many people go from visiting the website to purchasing a product. The calculator will then work out how many customers are abandoning their cart and give them an ROI for using Sumo based on implementing Sumo's cart abandonment recovery strategy. The second example is from an e-commerce company called Ergo-Driven that sells standing desks and anti-fatigue mats for people with standing desks. The calculator gives you a recommendation of what standing desk is best for you based on your height and your computer's height. You then enter your email to get a free standing desk plan. This is a great example of offering personalized specifications for someone who's considering to buy very soon or capturing a very qualified lead. The third example is from a company called Crew, which is a marketplace for hiring freelance designers and developers. Crew created and hosted their calculator on its own unique URL. What's smart about this strategy is that Crew researched common questions people were asking on Google about building an app. They found that a search for the term how much to make an app has around 1,000 searches per month. So they gave their URL the exact same name as the search term they found, calling it howmuchtommakeanapp.com. They then created a calculator and hosted it on the URL. The calculator helps people determine how much to make an app based on what they want in the app. It then shows the app estimate on the last page with a link to sign up for Crew and hire a freelance developer. This strategy has been so successful for Crew that they've created unique URLs and put calculators on them for 4 different search terms. The next content type is case studies. Case studies are used to prove results you can get with your product or service using your unique method or strategy. The first example is a case study I wrote on the Sumo blog, which shows how we dog-fooded our own tool called Casino to make $100,000 in a day. This is a great example of creating a case study even when you don't have any customers with results yet. In this case, Casino had only been out for a few weeks and only Sumo had used it. But I was able to use this case study to show people the potential results of using it in their own business. The second example is a case study from conversion rate experts on how they helped a travel company make an extra $14 million per year. Conversion rate experts has one of the biggest lists of detailed case studies of any company I've ever seen on the internet. This case study on sunshine.co.uk is one of their most popular and has a very specific structure to it. The case study layout includes an intro of what they did in Section 1, how they did it in Section 2, what conversion elements they changed in Section 3, and a video testimonial in Section 4. A free PDF of conversion tips is offered in Section 5 on the page, and more case studies in Section 6, and the page ends with what people should do next in Section 7, like filling out a contact form to work with them. This is a great example of a well-structured, detailed case study that's capable of convincing even the most sophisticated buyer to buy from you. And conversion rate experts use a similar format for all their case studies to build up a library of social proof. The third example is a case study of a one-page magazine ad that marketer Dean Jackson wrote to convince magazine readers to sign up for a free email mastery book. The case study tells the story of how to use a simple 9-word email to revive dead leads, with examples of results people got from using the strategy. Similar to the Sumo case study that was designed to convert readers into buyers, this is a great example of how you can write a short, compelling case study with a specific lead magnet designed to convert readers into leads. The next content type is courses. Courses are used to help people achieve a specific result and are usually taught by an expert who has deep domain expertise on one specific topic. In this scenario, I'm not talking about paid courses, but more so free courses that are used as tools to generate leads and nurture leads to purchasing. The first example is a course on doubling your email list by Sumo. The whole course is delivered via email over 30 days, using an email autoresponder to send every lesson. What's great about this example is that this one course has 11 different email marketing experts people can learn from, who all have domain expertise in one specific area of email marketing. What's smart about this course format is that when it comes to promoting the course, each of the experts are likely to help promote it to their audience because they've been part of the creation. The second example is from Unbounce. What I love about this course is that it's been built on its own mini site at thelandingpagecourse.com, with all the content accessible for free. If you do a search on Google for the words landing page course, you'll see Unbounce owns the whole top of the first page, with courses from companies like Udemy and Thinkific all coming up below it. This is a great strategy to own the first page of Google results and show off your brand as an authority on a subject related to what your product can help people with. The third example is from Snowy Joey. Snowy Joey is a shaved ice business I started back when I was 17 that's now run by my mum in Australia. I've included this example as it's a unique way of using a thank you page after someone downloads one of your content upgrades or lead magnets. In this case, I'm using a 4-part video course which is delivered via email that ultimately leads to the purchase of a $97 course with the step-by-step tactics to start your own snow cone business. The next content type is webinars. Webinars are tools used to educate and sell your products. The first example is from Palm Beach Research Group. Palm Beach ran a webinar that included a $1 million Bitcoin giveaway. That was the highest sales generating webinar in internet history. I spoke to the CEO of the company in Jamaica, and he said the webinar attracted 270,000 webinar registrants and 134,000 attendees, which is a 50% conversion rate from registrant to attendee. Of the 134,000 attendees, 9,253 people bought the $2,500 product offered on the webinar, which works out to a 7% conversion rate from attendee to paid customer. In total, this one webinar brought in $24,154,918 in sales. The format of the webinar was interview style, where crypto experts like Bitcoin Jesus got interviewed, and then the Palm Beach Research Group's crypto expert got interviewed, teaching people his advanced BITS system to make money investing in cryptocurrencies. At the end, Palm Beach offered a newsletter subscription where they do all the analysis for you and send you the crypto picks via email with a 10x ROI guarantee. The offer had a deadline to buy within 48 hours before it closed to the public. The newsletter normally costs $2,500 per year, but the webinar-only offer was get the newsletter for $2,500 for 2 years, then go to yearly pricing, plus you could get $200 of free Bitcoin when you join. This was a genius offer because by giving people $200 of Bitcoin in a wallet, it got people over the technical hurdle of setting up a wallet to store cryptocurrencies. This made it easy for Palm Beach customers to get set up and ready to start getting results from using the product. Palm Beach Group's ultimate goal was a high volume of high lifetime value customers. So the free Bitcoin offer wasn't just a gimmick, it was also used to help make customers more successful. The second example is from Kurt Christensen, who runs a webinar on how to trade exchange-traded funds. Kurt makes most of his sales through this one webinar, and the reason I've included it here is because of how simple the format is. Most webinar courses tell you that you need some complex system to make your webinar work, but what Kurt says he does is teach long division, sell the calculator. By that, what I mean is Kirk teaches you on the webinar exactly how to do what he does, so as people watch they can see how good his trading system is, but they also get to see how complicated it is, and how much time it can take to do it all yourself. So then at the end of the webinar, Kirk sells the easy solution, which is to buy his service, which tells you what ETF trades to make and when to make them. And with this offer, he will do all the time-intensive analysis for you. This is a great webinar format anyone can use if you have a unique method of doing something, where you first teach the method and then sell an easy done-for-you solution. The third example is from Lead Pages. The reason I love this example is because Lead Pages came up with a webinar format you can run every 2 weeks. Instead of teaching pre-prepared content like most webinars do, Lead Pages are using it as an office hours program, where both new prospects and existing customers can ask questions about marketing automation strategies they can use in their business. This is a great way to give people free personalized advice, so if they're not a customer yet, they are more likely to purchase from you. And if they are already a customer, then the webinar helps them become more successful with your product. The next content type is white papers. White papers are used to educate your prospects in extreme depth on one topic. The first example is from bitcoin.org with the Bitcoin white paper. The reason I love this example is because of how short it is. Bitcoin.org were able to explain what a peer-to-peer electronic cash system is and how it works in 9 pages. I think when most people think of a white paper, they think they need to create something huge. That's not the case, and this example proves you can explain a topic in depth in less than 10 pages. The second example is from LinkedIn. LinkedIn created a white paper on how sophisticated marketers can use LinkedIn to market their business. Apart from a great headline that speaks to an audience of advanced marketers, this is a great example of guiding people on strategies they can use to get the most advantage from using your product. The third example is from HubSpot. This is a great example of using your own customers' marketing and sales data to create an annual report with benchmarks and best practices for your industry. Most people think white papers need to use lots of industry-specific jargon and buzzwords, but this white paper uses easy-to-read bar graphs and simple explanations to tell a story of the state of the industry. The next content type is podcasts. Podcasts are used to nurture a relationship with your audience by providing them with entertaining audio content. The first example is from James Schramko's Superfast Business podcast. I love this example because this podcast has been running for many years and is James's #1 conversion driver for his Superfast Business membership program. James gets every podcast episode transcribed and posted on his blog. Many of the episodes you'll find are with James's customers, like this example where he speaks with Ezra Firestone about how his business went from $4 million to $25 million in 12 months. This is a great strategy to show off your customers and how you've helped them, while helping them reach a wider audience. James has said many times that people have listened to his podcast for years before eventually pulling the trigger and investing in his coaching program. This proves that this format of podcast is a great way to nurture your leads before they commit to buying from you. The second example is from Johnny Deacon, who runs a podcast called My DNA Coach. This is a great example of bringing on experts in different areas of fitness, nutrition, and sleep to get access to their audience, while also combining solo episodes with direct calls to action to apply for Johnny's My DNA Coach coaching program. This example here is a great example from one of Johnny's most popular solo episodes about why being yourself is a myth. In this example, Johnny has taken his webinar content and published it on his podcast. The third example is from Noah Kagan. What's great about this podcast is that it's used by Noah as a tool of most interesting people, like this example with Noah and his friend Tynan. People who enjoy Noah's podcast and his other free content become fans, and this trust then trickles over to Noah's businesses like Sumo and AppSumo, where he sells product.
Видите ли го спреме? Какво сте натиснали?
Now I've gone over different types of content you can use at the consideration stage of the customer journey. I'm going to go over some types of content you can use at the purchase stage to turn leads into customers. The first type of content I'm going to go over is pre-sale pages. Pre-sale pages are used to pre-sell people on buying your product. The first example is from an e-commerce company called Boom by Cindy Joseph that sells organic cosmetics for older women. Boom have been using these makeup tips pre-sale pages for years to convert their paid traffic into customers. Boom spend 30% of their total revenue on paid traffic using pre-sale pages like this one. This page is a great example because it looks just like a blog post, except it's been designed and written to pre-sell people on the product. It has 5 short tips just like a blog post, but then it goes on to explain how Jennifer Aniston uses the Boom products. This is a big social proof boost, as Jennifer Aniston is a famous Hollywood actress over the age of 45 that Boom's target audience can relate to, and therefore this helps pre-sell people on the product even more. After the mention about Jennifer Aniston, Boom has a section on the page for people to add products to their cart within the actual blog post without having to visit a product page. This is a great strategy to increase conversions from pre-sale page to checkout page. The second example is from the Foundation, who help entrepreneurs start a business. I love this example because it uses a 6-minute pre-sale audio with an intro and outro to give a sample of the type of content you're going to get. Then if you like what you've listened to, you can pay $5 to access the full audio. This is a great way to build your buyers list and get more people to consume and take action on your content. Instead of just giving away a valuable piece of content for free, you get people to invest a small amount of money to access it. The third example is an Agora advertorial. Advertorials act exactly the same as pre-sale pages. In this example, Agora uses a proven copywriting formula in the headline to hook people. Then they go into a 3-step script James Altucher uses to make money from cryptocurrencies. This pre-sale page follows a specific format. First, it shows you data of what could have been if you invested at the bottom of the market and sold at the top. Second, it talks about an impending event that is coming on a specific date to create urgency. Third, it goes into predictions James has made in the past that have been right. And fourth, it makes an offer to access James's crypto system. What's particularly great about this advertorial is that it includes 30-second clips from James on CNBC to show social proof that he knows what he's talking about. This is a great example of killing people's skepticism with overwhelming social proof. Proof of results, and a deadline to buy before an event that's coming up on a date in the future. The next content type is product pages. Product pages are used to describe and sell your product. The first example is a product page selling a pair of William Painter titanium sunglasses. This is William Painter's best-selling product that's had thousands of sales. The product page isn't very different from a standard e-commerce product page, but what I love about this example is that they've leveraged social proof from Tim Ferriss mentioning their sunglasses in a video. They cut the part of the video that mentions their sunglasses and use it on their product page as social proof, directly below the product image and description to convince more people to buy. The second example is a scented candle from Malicious Women Candle Company's Mum's Collection. This is a great example of how to build a business around some very creative copywriting. Malicious Women Candle Co. have hundreds of products listed on their store, but they only really sell 21. They do this by creating different product names to appeal to different target markets. They then sell one type of candle with 21 different scent options. For example, this product in the example is called Thanks for Putting Up With My Shit, infused with a sense of guilt. The product title has been written in a way to entice people to buy this as a gift for their mum, but the company has created different product titles for hundreds of SKUs, creating an F-bomb collection, Pride collection, Cancer Sucks collection, a Work Sucks collection, and lots more. It's a great example of differentiating your product page with copywriting. The third example is from an artisanal donut shop called Susie Q Donuts. What I love about this product page is the online store has replicated the experience and personal touch of being inside a real donut store. On the page, you can select the donuts you want to put in your box and then see them being added inside your box on the right-hand side of the page. Also, the product photography is really well done on this page. The next content type is pricing pages. Pricing pages are used to show people your pricing and convince them to buy. The first example is from Basecamp. What I love about this page is the price is front and center in the first line of the headline. People are coming to a pricing page to see your pricing, so saying something like Basecamp is $99 per month instantly delivers on that promise. Also, the comparison image on the page that compares Basecamp's $99 per month flat price versus buying Slack, Asana, Dropbox, and G Suite for $170 per month is a compelling graphic for replacing 4 to 5 separate tools with Basecamp. The second example is from Trello. What I love about this pricing page is how simple it is. It's 3 different pricing tiers with buttons to sign up for each plan and bullet points on what you get for each plan. It's simple to compare every plan without having to look through lots of tool tips or trying to oversell the product. The third example is from Shopify. Shopify, the market leader in the e-commerce platform space. What I like about Shopify's pricing page is they use a simple 3-column pricing tier table like Trello, but they make it easier to read by adding a 4th column. The 4th column uses headings for different categories like credit card rates, transaction fees, and features. This makes it easier to compare between the three pricing plans, so it's easier for your customer to make a purchasing decision. The next content type is sales pages. Sales pages are used to convince people to buy your product. The first example is from AppSumo. AppSumo makes more revenue per employee than Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google, and Slack. And this here is one of their highest sales-generating sales pages of all time. What's great about AppSumo sales pages like this one is that they are short 500-word pages that follow the AIDA copywriting framework. AIDA stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. So if you follow that framework, you can create your own short-form sales page like AppSumo do. The second example is from the ClickFunnels homepage. ClickFunnels sells plug-and-play marketing funnels, and their homepage is a great example of a long-form sales page with a theme. The theme they use is a gold rush theme. From the headline and viral video at the top of the page, to the customer video testimonials of people who found gold at the bottom of the page, this page has been carefully planned, designed, and copywritten. It even includes illustrations of the gold digger featured in the video appearing all throughout the page. It's fun, entertaining, and persuasive, and a great example to model for doing a long-form sales page right. The third example is from the Panama Hat Company, who sells straw hats ranging from $500 to $25,000 each. This is a great example of how to use a sales page to sell a high-ticket product. On the page, there's even an image of an actress wearing the world's most expensive $2.7 million hat to make the $25,000 price point look cheap. At the end of the page, there's a call to action for serious inquiries to call a direct line. And if people aren't ready to pull the trigger and drop $25K, the sales page has been made to be multi-part. How it works is when you get to the bottom of the page, you can click some text that says go to next page, and you'll be taken to another page to start learning the full story behind how a $25,000 straw hat is actually made. It's a great example of how to sell through storytelling. Now I've taken you through types of content you can use at the purchase stage of the customer journey. I'm going to show you some types of content you can use at the growth stage to increase your average order value and have higher lifetime value customers in your business. The first type of content I'm going to go over is bundle pages. Bundle pages are used to increase your average order value. The first example is an all-access pass bundle from AdSkills. This is a great example of packaging all your information products into one yearly fee. It makes sense to do something like this if you already have all the content. All you have to do is package it up in a bundle and offer it to people who want everything you've got to increase your average order value. In this bundle, AdSkills packages up $2,976 worth of courses and a $99 per month membership for $999 per year. That includes unlimited yearly updates to all the courses in the bundle. The second example is from the PlayStation Store, where they sell a game called Grand Theft Auto 5. Instead of buying the game, starter pack, and bonus cash to use in the game separately for $200, you can buy it as a bundle for $150. This is a great example of how to offer a bundle to help people get results faster with the product they are buying, even if it's a game. The third example is from Harry's, who sell a men's razor called the Truman. Instead of just selling the razor, Harry's have packaged it together with shaving cream and extra blade cartridges. The Truman on its own costs $9, whereas the Truman set costs $15. This is a good example of bundling complementary products together to increase your average order value. The next content type is upsell pages. Upsell pages are used to convince people to buy more of an existing product or a different related product. The first example is a hybrid thank you page from AdSkills. This page delivers your content upgrade, lead magnet, or product, and then has a sales pitch below it. Justin Brook used this at AdSkills to pitch people on a $498 media buying course after someone just opted in for a content upgrade for a swipe file on 50 ads that made millions. This is a genius strategy because after someone has just opted in for your lead magnet, that's when they are most likely to be receptive to your sales pitch. And in this example, Justin used it to make an offer for a media buying course after someone opted in for a free media buying related content upgrade. If you increase relevancy like this, then you're going to increase your conversions. And this example shows that upsells aren't just for paid products. You can use them with free content upgrades as well. The second example is from a course Amy Porterfield sold called Webinars That Convert. For the upsell, Amy sold webinar slide presentation templates that would make it easier for people to look professional and just fill in the blanks. To do the upsell, Amy used a 3-tier strategy. First, she offered a 5-pack of webinar slide deck templates for $297. If the customer didn't buy, then she broke the $297 price point into a 2-pay option. If the customer still didn't want to buy the 2-pay option, then she offered a 2-pack of templates instead of a 5-pack for $97. This 3-tier strategy got 58% of customers to buy one of the 3 offers and made Amy an extra $170,000 on her course. The third example is from BMW's Build Your Own Car website. I've included this example because it shows how it's possible to upsell someone on a high-ticket product that has a price tag of anywhere from $20,000 to $200,000. BMW gets you to upsell yourself by getting you to choose your car, then upsells you on the paint job, wheels, upholstery, trims, add-on packages, and extra options for things like entertainment, performance, and safety. This is a really smooth upsell flow and a great example of how to get your customers paying you more for better options on a high-ticket item. The next content type is content libraries. Content libraries are used to give your customers exclusive content they can't get anywhere else, so they stay with your company longer and never leave you for a competitor. The first example is the Netflix original series. Netflix produce their own original TV shows and documentaries that only their customers can get access to. By storing all of these behind their monthly subscription to Netflix, making their TV shows into multi-episode seasons, and their documentaries into multi-part docuseries, they are able to hook people on their own original content, so people are less likely to leave Netflix for a competitor. Also, by partnering with celebrities like Tony Robbins, Jim Carrey, and Lady Gaga, Netflix are able to leverage their audiences to get more people to sign up for Netflix. The second example is from Sumo. At Sumo, we created something called the Sumo Content Library, where people who register for Sumo can get access to exclusive content like growth studies and new content upgrades we release. This increases the number of people who register for a Sumo account versus just giving us their email address. Our sales team can then qualify every person who registers for access to the content library and reach out to qualified leads who we know will be able to get results using Sumo. Also, it helps our customers get more value from being a Sumo customer by having free access to the library 24/7. The third example is the BounceX Think Tank. What's great about this content library is that all the guides, case studies, and webcasts are available to the public in return for filling out a lead form. However, BounceX primarily uses the content as a way to retain their customers. It's a great alternative to a blog, but instead of chasing after organic traffic, BounceX focuses on using their content to maintain high customer retention rates given that they are selling an enterprise level product with enterprise pricing over $10,000 per month. Aside from the customer retention though, they also get the benefit of the referral traffic from other enterprise companies that partner with them on the content. Now that's a wrap of all the successful content types. I've now gone over 3 examples of every content type across the whole customer journey. Your goal shouldn't be to use every single content type in your business, but you should have at least one piece of content for every stage of the customer journey as a good starting point. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to choose the content types that are right for your business. I'll show you using an example of the content types we chose to grow sumo.com.